Hi everyone, this is Marc Bates. I'm a metabolic health coach, and today's topic is your brain on food, the ancient connection modern science confirms. Your brain isn't just what you think, it's what you eat. Your brain, a 3-pound universe in your skull, is a unique organ that requires specific nutrients to function optimally. Approximately 60% of its composition is fat. Its 100 billion neurons and quadrillion synapses have distinct nutritional needs. However, modern dietary patterns are increasingly diverging from what our brains evolved to utilize over millions of years. This dietary divergence isn't just a theoretical concern, it's actively reshaping our neurological function in real time, highlighting the immediate impact of our nutritional choices on brain health. The evolutionary blueprint. Human brain evolution followed a remarkable trajectory from Australopithecus with a 450cc brain to modern humans with the roughly 1300cc brains. Our neural architecture expanded dramatically over several million years. What fueled this remarkable expansion? The evidence increasingly points to our ancestors' dietary shifts as a key factor in our brain's evolution. Archaeological findings suggest that increased seafood consumption coincided with a pivotal moment in human evolution. Shore-dwelling early humans gained access to easily digestible, nutrient-dense foods without requiring extensive preparation. This dietary shift has played an integral role in the evolution of human intelligence. But yet there's a second brain in your gut. This conversation between food and cognition extends beyond the brain itself. Your digestive system, often overlooked in discussions about brain health, contains what scientists now call the second brain, the enteric nervous system. This sophisticated neural network comprises approximately 500 million neurons and 40 neurotransmitters. Perhaps most surprisingly, it produces up to 95% of the body's serotonin, the neurotransmitter most associated with mood regulation and depression. The gut microbiome and brain maintain constant bidirectional communication through the gut-brain axis. This connection involves the vagus nerve, hormones, immune cells, neurotransmitters, and metabolites, all working together to facilitate communication between these complex systems. Research shows that people with depression generally have less diverse gut microbiomes. They typically show higher levels of bacteria associated with inflammation and decreased levels of bacteria related to anti-inflammation. Our microbial inhabitants, which outnumber our cells by a factor of 20 to 1, aren't just passive passengers. They play an active role in our cognitive function, empowering us to make positive dietary changes for brain health. The metabolic shift. For millions of years, human metabolism has adapted to utilize various energy sources. Our ancestors' diets fluctuated with seasons, migrations, and environmental changes, and this metabolic flexibility became encoded in our genetics. The modern industrialized diet represents a stark departure from this pattern. Beginning around the 1980s, dietary guidelines promoted low-fat, high-carbohydrate eating patterns. This coincided with a dramatic rise in obesity, diabetes, and other metabolic disorders. The consequences extended directly to brain function. In Alzheimer's disease, the brain's ability to utilize glucose becomes compromised. A ketogenic diet, a high-fat, low-carbohydrate one, can provide the brain with ketone bodies as an alternative energy source, potentially improving cognition. A small pilot study demonstrated that a ketogenic diet improved cognitive test scores in people with Alzheimer's disease after just 3 months. The brain's energy needs remain constant, but its fuel sources can adapt. The villains of modern nutrition. The nutritional landscape has changed dramatically in just a few generations. Three factors stand out as particularly problematic for brain health. First, the vilification of dietary fat led to a widespread reduction in essential fatty acids that form the structural components of brain cell membranes. DHA, an omega-3 fatty acid found abundantly in seafood, accounts for 40% of the membrane phospholipid fatty acids in the brain. Sugar, refined sugar consumption skyrocketed. The average American now consumes approximately 152 pounds of sugar annually, an amount our ancestors encountered only rarely, usually in the form of seasonal fruits or honey. Third, ultra-processed foods now dominate many diets. These products often combine sugar, salt, and fat in proportions that trigger dopamine release and activate reward pathways in ways natural foods cannot match. Our brains evolve specific taste preferences to guide us toward nutritionally beneficial foods in natural environments. These same preferences now lead us toward metabolic dysfunction in modern food environments. Okay, real quick, it would really help the channel out if you would like, subscribe, and then click on the bell if you want to get notified as we post new videos. Thank you. The Paleo-Mediterranean model. Among contemporary dietary patterns, the Paleo-Mediterranean diet consistently benefits brain health. A 2023 study published in BMC Medicine found that Mediterranean diet adherence is associated with lower dementia risk, independent of genetic predisposition. The research followed over 60,000 participants for an average of 9.1 years. What makes this dietary pattern so beneficial? Several factors likely contribute. It maintains a healthier omega-6 to omega-3 ratio through regular fatty fish consumption and limited processed oils. It emphasizes whole foods with an emphasis on animal protein and fats, providing anti-inflammatory protection to neural tissues. It naturally limits refined carbohydrates while providing limited complex carbohydrates, supporting stable blood glucose levels. It includes fermented foods that support gut microbiome diversity and function. The Paleo-Mediterranean pattern aligns more closely with our evolutionary dietary history than standard Western diets. The ApoE4 paradox. The relationship between diet and brain function becomes even more fascinating when considering genetics. The ApoE4 gene variant, present in approximately 25% of the population, increases Alzheimer's disease risk when carriers consume modern Western diets. Yet ApoE4 is our ancestral gene. It only became disadvantageous when our diets and lifestyles diverged from our evolutionary patterns. ApoE4 enhances inflammatory responses, which is beneficial in the highly infectious environments where our ancestors lived, but problematic in modern inflammatory states caused by poor diet and sedentary lifestyles. This genetic variant also affects vitamin D absorption and processing. As humans migrated to higher latitudes with less UVB light exposure, new ApoE variants, ApoE2 and ApoE3, evolved approximately 200,000 years ago. Our genes still carry the memory of ancient dietary patterns. The cognitive restoration approach. Emerging research suggests that cognitive decline isn't always an inevitable one-way trajectory. Dr. Dale Bredesen from UCLA has pioneered precision medicine approaches that identify and address the specific factors contributing to cognitive impairment in individual patients. The Finger study from Finland demonstrated that a combination of dietary intervention, exercise, and cognitive training could significantly modify vascular risk factors and improve cognitive outcomes. Other research shows that omega-3 fatty acid intake improves brain function and structure in older adults, particularly executive function and verbal fluency. This cognitive capability is most essential for professional performance and daily communication. The brain demonstrates remarkable plasticity when given appropriate nutritional support. The 5 brain rules. Translating evolutionary nutrition science into practical guidance yields 5 fundamental principles for brain health. Number 1, prioritize sleep health. Sleep is when the brain clears metabolic waste through the lymphatic system. Poor sleep quality directly impacts cognitive function and mood regulation. Okay? 2, consume brain-supporting foods. Emphasize omega-3 rich seafood, ruminant meats, and fats. Minimize refined carbohydrates, eliminate seed oils high in omega-6 fatty acids, and avoid ultra-processed foods. 3. Engage in regular cognitive exercise. Challenge your brain with novel learning experiences that build new neural connections and strengthen existing ones. 4. Maintain physical activity. Exercise increases brain-derived neurotrophic factor BDNF, improves cerebral blood flow, and counteracts the inflammatory effects contributing to cognitive decline. And 5. Cultivate social connections. Human brains evolved in social groups. Regular, meaningful interaction with others provides cognitive stimulation that isolated living cannot replicate. These principles work synergistically, each amplifying the benefits of the others. The ancient wisdom in modern science. The scientific understanding of nutrition's impact on brain function continues to evolve, yet the emerging picture increasingly validates what our evolutionary history suggests. Our brains function best when nourished according to the patterns that shaped our development. The human brain remains essentially the same organ that allowed our ancestors to navigate complex social groups, track migratory patterns, remember seasonal food sources, and develop sophisticated languages and technologies. Its nutritional requirements haven't changed, even as our food supply has transformed dramatically. The gap between what our brains evolved to utilize and what we typically consume today may explain much about the rising incidence of mood disorders, anxiety, depression, and neurodegenerative diseases. Our most sophisticated organ deserves nutrition that respects its evolutionary design. Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please remember, leave a comment and a question or a question. I will answer your questions. Thank you very much. Have a great day.